So one of the challenges that we run into as product managers is managing different tools and different contexts of where things are happening, especially if we're focused on supporting multiple product teams. Those product teams may use different project management tools, different workflows, and more. That said, it's incredibly important that in our role, we're focused on having systems to help keep us on task and give us the perspective and the context that we need to quickly dive into whichever area we are supporting on each team. So I want to share some of my own workflows that I use to help stay on top of these things. So let's take a look. So first off, two of my key favorite tools I like to use are a really great calendar app and a task management app. Over here on the left is my favorite calendar app of choice called Fantastical. I have it on my iPhone as well, but what's really nice about it here on the Mac is that it allows natural language processing to quickly add new calendar events, but especially when managing teams across multiple time zones, I like being able to come over here and just quickly shift between time zones, so that way I can see if I'm going to schedule something Eastern time, what is that going to look like for the Central time team or the Pacific time team. Being able to just quickly do this at a glance helps mitigate the time zone juggling that is very easy to come across. Over here on the right is my favorite task management tool of choice. I've gone through a lot over the years, but this one has stuck with me the most, and this is Todoist. So one of my favorite features of Todoist in this process where I'm looking for ways to support multiple different tools from a single workflow is the ability to link out tasks to specific contexts anywhere on the internet. So I'll give an example here. If I go ahead and create a new task in the inbox, I'm just going to go ahead and add these brackets and parentheses. And in the parentheses, I am going to add a URL to a Jira issue. And then in the actual bracket itself, I'm going to give the name of the task. All right. So there we go. We can actually see here that it is showing just the actual name of the task. And if I go ahead and click on that, it will go ahead and pull this up right here in Jira, which is where my team is working out of. So this is a really great workflow. You can use it for any case where you're trying to link out to any specific URL. Even Slack conversations as well can be really great to link out to and have really helpful context. And all that being said, when you're working on a multi-contextual workflow, you can also add tags within Todoist. So I actually have a Jira tag here to talk about this is something that is happening in Jira. If I want to go ahead and see all my tasks that are associated with Jira, I can do that. But there's also lots of other helpful context that I can add here, such as I think this is something that's going to take me 15 minutes to do. It's definitely a top priority task. And I can also drag it over to any of the projects that I have over here on the left-hand side. One of the other awesome benefits of using Todoist is that it allows you to create advanced filters. So that way you could replicate something similar to an Eisenhower priority matrix, where you're trying to figure out what are the not urgent but super important things that help move your needle forward in terms of advancing your team. And so I actually have one over here called the not urgent and important filter, and this lists all tasks within my Todoist account that are of high importance, but not necessarily something a client or a team member is waiting on. So one of the other really powerful tools in my personal workflow for managing multiple projects is Evernote. Evernote is something you might be familiar with. It's been around for quite some time, and it's a very powerful, very flexible note-taking tool. Up here, there's actually this little kind of widget up here that allows you to just quickly capture notes. So this is really beneficial if I'm in an impromptu video call with someone and something relevant is said. I can just quickly jump in here and capture my notes. And I can just quickly save that over to Evernote. What's really cool with Evernote, and again, kind of how this all factors into that single unified workflow is I can go in here and I can actually copy an internal note link, and then I can open up a Todoist widget and do that same thing where I actually include a link out to that Evernote note and say something like maybe review meeting notes for next steps. And again, if we go back over to Todoist and go into the inbox, you can see that it was captured here, and actually there's an integration where it's showing a nice little Evernote icon. So you have that context of like, hey, yeah, this is a note. And when you click on that, it will open up the URL right to that specific note. So one of the benefits of this unified URL-based workflow is being able to quickly turn a Slack conversation into a task. So let's pretend I'm reviewing Slack and I see this note here. One of our internal apps has gone out to test flight. So I want to go ahead and copy the link from the timestamp and go ahead and drop that into a task in Todoist. And again, it's sent over to the inbox here where it's a link actually right out to that unique Slack conversation URL. In any workflow, we all have to deal with email. So my email app of choice that I use is one called Spark. And Spark is really great because it's kind of like Google Inbox. And if you remember Google Inbox, it would sort your email automatically by categories like social and personal and more. This allows you to quickly figure out and filter like what is important, what needs to be actioned on, and what can you defer for later. So I really like Spark because it has those features, but it also has awesome integration with some of the core apps that we use like Todoist, where I'm actually able to create a Todoist task based on an email that comes in, directly exporting it out of Spark and into my Todoist inbox so I can take care of it and task it for later. On top of that, there's also other integrations, like we use Zoom for video conferencing, and so I can easily set up a Zoom meeting within Spark as I send out a request for that meeting to happen. So one of our favorite tools at Crema for collaboration is Miro. It's a digital whiteboarding tool, and when we actually create a new board, it helps like us quickly jump into either doing like story mapping exercise, a retrospective, creating a product roadmap, and more. We actually have our own templates as well, based on strategies and things that we have learned about how to best push product teams forward. So just kind of using this as an example, again, to tie in where Miro fits within my workflow as a product manager is let's go ahead and drop in this Lightning Decision Jam template. So this is for a Lightning Decision Jam exercise, which we run from time to time with our clients. But let's just say that there was this sticky at some point through that exercise that we're hypothetically running here became something actionable. So one of the things that's really cool about Miro is that all elements on the board actually have their own unique URL associated with them. So I can actually right click on the sticky note and click copy link. And again, going back to the Todoist workflow, I can go ahead and drop a link specifically down to that sticky note so that way I can follow up on this specific task. And again, here we go. And just clicking that will prompt open Miro and pull me right down to that sticky note. So with these examples in mind, this URL-based workflow of really centralizing a lot of connectivity between the tools is something that our team at Crema really looks for whenever we're pursuing or adapting a new tool. We want to make sure that tools are flexible and powerful enough that they don't become something that we're necessarily locked into, but can customize to our needs. And when there's specific and digital workflows at mind too, we want to be able to account for those and allow our system to be really elastic. So if you thought this was valuable, let us know in the comments down below, and we can go deeper into this in future videos. We can pull apart multiple workflows and various schemes that we can use to help you manage your workflows as a product leader in whatever you're doing.